Actually, samurai seppuku wasn't just suicide. There was a shocking purpose, specific rituals, and a hidden psychology behind it that few know about. Even among us Japanese, perhaps few truly understand seppuku. It was a ritual entirely different from a simple act of suicide. What the samurai risked their lives to protect was honor. Seppuku was the ultimate means of preserving that honor. In this video, we'll thoroughly delve into the untold history, rituals, and profound psychology hidden within samurai seppuku. By watching this video, your perception of seppuku will undoubtedly change dramatically. Please watch until the end. The origins of seppuku are ancient, tracing back to the late Heian period. Records of self-inflicted death by sword can already be seen during the Genpei War era. Why cut the abdomen? For samurai, the hara, abdomen, was believed to be the dwelling place of the soul and the seat of one's true sincerity. By tearing open their own abdomen, they demonstrated that true sincerity. It was an expression of samurai integrity and pride. Rather than being captured by the enemy on the battlefield, they would take their own lives. That was considered a more honorable death. Entering the Muromachi period, seppuku became even more ritualized and intertwined with the samurai's ethical code. By the Edo period, seppuku was established as a privileged form of punishment, permitted only to samurai. For a samurai, seppuku was not merely a punishment, but a choice to preserve their honor until their very end. Even in the face of death, they would demonstrate their integrity and pride to the world. That was the samurai's ultimate loyalty. Seppuku was an honorable death, reserved exclusively for samurai, never permitted to commoners. So, what exactly did these strict rituals entail? The seppuku ritual had very detailed and solemn procedures. The samurai aesthetic was condensed within them. The most crucial role was played by the kaishakunin. Second, their duty was to alleviate the suffering of the person performing seppuku and swiftly end their life. The kaishakunin was usually a close friend or trusted colleague. They were required to possess the skill to sever the head with a single stroke. Seppuku without a kaishakunin involved unimaginable pain. Therefore, the presence of a kaishakunin was extremely important. The person performing seppuku would dress in white, drink sake one last time, recite a death poem, and then plunge a short sword into their abdomen. The Jumonji-gi, a cross-shaped cut from left to right and then upwards, was considered the ideal method. The kaishakunin would strike off the head the instant the short sword pierced the abdomen. This was a perfect seppuku. There were several types of seppuku, such as jibara, yifu, performed to uphold honor, and ranbara, lunfu, to take responsibility. The seppuku of the Akeo Ronin, famously known from Chishingura, can truly be called a prime example of jibara. To make one's own death appear beautiful, that was the ultimate Bushido for a samurai. So why did samurai choose to end their own lives in such a manner? Let's delve into their psychology. For samurai, honor and pride were heavier than life itself. Living in shame was more terrifying than anything. The concept of taking responsibility was also crucial. To bravely atone for one's mistakes or disloyalty to one's lord with one's life. In Bushido, death was not merely an end, but also a means to complete one's way of life. As recorded in Hagakure, the philosophy that Bushido is found in dying was at its root. The influence of Confucianism cannot be ignored. Absolute loyalty to one's lord and filial piety to one's parents, seppuku was the ultimate way to demonstrate these. Through death, they conveyed their will and beliefs to the world. Seppuku was also a silent message. Accepting death not out of fear or despair, but with a certain resolve and pride, that was the samurai spirit. However, even the tradition of seppuku was forced to change with the currents of the times. With the Meiji Restoration, Japan embarked on a path of modernization, and diplomacy with Western powers became active. From a Western perspective, seppuku appeared as a barbaric custom. Japan began to face criticism from the international community. And in Meiji 6, 1873, seppuku was finally prohibited by law. With this, the honorable ritual of death that had continued since the age of the samurai came to an end. However, the spiritual essence of seppuku continued to live on in the hearts of the Japanese people, albeit in different forms. For instance, similar acts can be seen in the suicides of Japanese military officers at the end of the Pacific War. Furthermore, Yukio Mishima's ritual suicide by disembowelment was a symbolic event that posed questions about seppuku to modern society. Seppuku was not merely a death ritual. It was the era in which the samurai lived, their culture, and their philosophy itself. From our modern perspective, many aspects may be difficult to comprehend, but for the samurai of that time, it was the ultimate way of life. Samurai seppuku contained a message to the group and society that far transcended an individual's life. What did you think? I hope that by touching upon the unknown truths of seppuku, you were able to grasp a little of the samurai worldview. The samurai's views on life and death, their way of taking responsibility, and their emphasis on honor contain universal themes that resonate even in modern society. What can we learn from their way of life, and how can we apply it to the modern world? Within the depths of history, many hints are hidden for us living today. I hope this video serves as an opportunity to deepen your interest in history. Next time, we'll continue to uncover unknown historical truths, so please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Also, please share your opinions and thoughts on seppuku in the comments section.